We were dilly-dallying this morning, talking about summer and driving trips and celebrations
And the full moon.
and the full moon. Yeah. It's
Uh,
the
we we got a glimpse of it on our trip. I was on the road, and we got a glimpse of the moon. And then while we were driving to where we were going to stay, and then when we got to this room, we got a room especially with a view to the moon. And then the clouds came, and we never saw it. So we got to see it for about 15 minutes while we were driving. It was like right up in front of us on the road.
wow.
It was
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
Beautiful full moon.
We were
Then
talking
it,
we were
then
talking
it,
about one of the big concepts of our practice and of our healing work is around that concept of yin and yang. And we know that the moon and the sun are like one of the best yin yang
yeah,
visuals and teachers that we have, with the moon doing all of its work in one beautiful, like you said, there it is shining on you on the road that one day, that big blast of light, and the sun every day, steady, constant, all
yeah.
that power in a different kind of a way. It's almost reminding me of the particle and the wave or something. So there's a lot of beautiful lessons in ways to see yin and yang and balance, and especially the balance that we're coming up to with the solstice ahead.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah, it's another visible, invisible moment too, because the moon sort of stays hidden until it's full,
Yeah.
and then there it is. So the
Oh,
uh, the power of the moon is so powerful, and we know the sun has to shine every day, and they're both essential. And
yeah.
I was starting to tell you before we got on this live that
Yeah.
I heard this. It's available, some kind of podcast that traces the history of the Earth from the cloud of dust, the nebula cloud of dust, and the arrival of the moon. The moon has supposedly happened because a Mars-sized object hit the Earth and knocked off the moon. And while they were both forming, so the moon formed, you think about like clay spinning, the moon formed and the Earth formed. But the presence of the moon stabilizes the Earth so that we have seasons. Otherwise, we'd be spinning in all kinds of rotations, and the seasons wouldn't be regular. But we have regular seasons. So, among other things that the moon does, it gives us regular seasons. And we are about to, here we're in the summer season, and also with the solstice coming. All these things are, they're all interconnected. Everything's connected, and like you said, we're all about balance and seeing these changes happen in such a beautiful flowing way that allows life, agriculture, plants, to grow, and this amazing balance that's going on that supports life.
Hmm.
Really fantastic.
And it's very biological. I mean, there are very concrete aspects to energy moving and seeing energy. And this is a beautiful, concrete sort of biological show that you're describing about the relationship of the moon and the sun and Mother Earth, that we're all in it together. So the moon is kind of the child of the earth. The earth spun off a little chunk of itself and sent it out to do this, to be in this relationship. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's all very cool. Yeah, and so here we have the solstice coming. For us, like around Chicago anyway, it's such an exciting time because the days are so long. The light goes so long into the evening, and we're kind of like, oh no, after the solstice we start to slowly, you have it on your shirt. We slowly have it returning to the dark times. The balance between the visible and invisible
Yeah.
starts to shift, and it's so great.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I know we're getting excited about this. It's going to happen.
So when we come to Pig and Dragon next week, we're going to be welcoming Dr. Sandra Lewis to
That's right.
join us and talk about the relationships of energy and emotions and psychology and things that are moving and things that feel like they're in balance and things that feel like they're out of balance, and how we can use these different frameworks and modalities to inform and enrich everything we're doing. It's a great opportunity. This solstice moment is such a great opportunity to really recognize that that life does move to balance, it moves into harmony, and then it moves out again, right? And that's what this is a picture of as well.
I'm
So
not sure it moves out. I'm not sure I would put it that way. But
it,
we have certain, I'm not sure it moves out of harmony, but it expresses this harmonious relationship differently.
mm,
It has also inside of that moments of like the moon full and the moon when it's new. It's still moving itself. It's harmonious in itself. But we look at it and might say, oh, here's that, and then there's this. And they look like they're different, but they're very closely linked. And I think that's what we really try to experience in our practice and in our work. So realize that even though something looks like it's, maybe it's like a symptom could be very problematic and it's very showy. But behind it is the balance that can allow everything to transform and shift and move according to its nature. That's what we're really, I think, trying to create and link to in our practices and our teaching. And Dragon's Way is coming up next week. So we have opportunities for people to experience this for themselves.
absolutely. I love that. But I disagree with what you're saying. No, I don't disagree. Everything is harmonious in nature, but the moment of harmony, like the moment of solstice, like the moment of balance, it is possible to bring up the balance to a place where balance actually becomes harmony in a different way, where everything is in that one moment, but we can't hold on to that moment. We can't remain in that moment. The minute that we hit that moment, it starts to tip again through the natural cycle. That's my experience of it anyway.
Go with it. Let's go with that. Why not?
All right, so we'll come back next week and have a really long argument about balance and harmony. Now, good discussion, and we will be back. We'll be back.
I'm really glad that Dr. Sandra Lewis is joining us. She's a colleague of ours. And I just think that, we're in a psychological climate, our culture is very psychological. And so because she's a psychologist also, I think that we can show how we can apply our psychological framework and include the Chinese medicine, Qigong energy framework and see how that can really deepen our understanding of ourselves and our everyday challenges. So I think she's going to add a lot. And I know I'm looking forward to riffing with her a little bit.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. And this is work that you're doing every day in your practice with clients, Larry.
Yeah.
Inviting people to discover that, that problem solving with the mind is a good, important activity. And then there's more, right?
There's more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's energy. So we want to join the energy party.
I love it. Yeah. All right. Excellent. See you next week. Larry, have a wonderful day. Talk to you all soon.
Good. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.